welcome back to Morgan's Movie Collection. Today I'm obviously very excited, as I always am. It seems to have been a little while since a full Morgan's Movie Collection video, and I'm a little bit upset about that. But we're back today, and I am very excited because we have 8 wonderful looking Blu-rays here that I bought recently to put a bit of a boost into my Eureka Masters of Cinema collection, which is something I like to do every now and again. It always feels great to do because they are very well known movies, very well respected movies, but all 8 of these are first time watches for me. I have watched 2 of them already because they have been and will be recent episodes or upcoming episodes of It's a Wonderful Podcast, the main show, of course, every Friday. Janine and I celebrating old movies and discovering new old movies for ourselves over on the main podcast feed on It's a Wonderful Podcast every single week. Go and check that out if you haven't already, of course, and subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. But let's get straight in, because we have a pretty big variety of genres as well, which I'm quite excited about. And first up, we have Billy Wilder's The Lost Weekend, which is number 45 in the Masters of Cinema collection. This will be an upcoming episode of It's a Wonderful Podcast. It's the Best Picture winner from 1945, Ray Milland as the alcoholic Don Burnham, and it's the story of his spiral into alcoholism. It is, I think, one of probably the most respected heavy dramas of the 40s. Yet I have watched it, and I don't find it particularly bleak or hopeless or anything like that. There's little glimmers in there of positivity in his life that I think make it a very watchable movie and a very rewatchable movie. But absolutely keep an eye out for the upcoming episode of It's a Wonderful Podcast, where we will be talking about this movie. Like I said, Best Picture winner of 1945. With this Blu-ray, you get an exclusive new video introduction by Alex Cox. You get a 3-part 1992 program, Billy, How Did You Do It? Directed by Gisela Grischow and Volker Schlondorf, featuring a conversation with Billy Wilder. You get the 1946 Screen Guild Theatre radio adaptation, which stars again Ray Milland, Jane Wyman also in this movie, and Frankie Phelan. You get the original trailer, optional English subtitles for the deaf and hard of hearing, and a 36-page booklet featuring a new essay on the film by critic and filmmaker David Kearns, a reproduction of the famous hallucination sequence in 3 forms, and a presentation of frames from the corresponding scene in the film. A vintage public service advertisement about The Lost Weekend and the broader social dilemma of alcoholism and rare archival imagery. Yes, it's always nice to get more Billy Wilder movies as well. I really do love Billy Wilder, obviously. There is the booklet there. I think one of these today will be a reversible sleeve, so we'll have to have a bit of a see as to which one we want to choose there. But we have The Lost Weekend. And next up is another Billy Wilder movie, actually, but a very different sort of style one. Stalag 17 from 1953, which is 117 in the Masters of Cinema collection. The war POW camp movie with William Holden, Don Taylor, Otto Preminger in this. It says it's darkly comic adaptation of the stage play about an assortment of American airmen getting through the days in a German POW camp at the twilight of the Second World War. I think William Holden won Best Actor for this as well at the Academy Awards, but I have not watched this movie yet. I'm I don't tend to be the biggest war movie fan, but I think if anybody can bring me into enjoying more of that kind of thing, it might just be Billy Wilder. And I do enjoy some war movies. I enjoy movies where perhaps the war is played in the background of something more personal going on with specific characters that's not directly involved. So with this being a POW camp, I feel like I'm probably in a good area here. With this one, a new high definition presentation and optional subtitles. New video interview with film scholar Neil Sinyard, very nice. Full length commentary with actors Richard Erdman and Jill Stratton and co-playwright Donald Bevan. The real heroes of Stalag 17B, a group of real-world POWs relate their experiences. That's very interesting. Stalag 17 from reality to screen, a documentary on the making of the film, and a 28-page booklet featuring a new essay by Jessica Felris and vintage writing about the film illustrated throughout with production stills. Yes, 1953, like I said. Inside of it there, nice booklet. This is the reversible sleeve one. So, do we want that, or do we want that? The red one or the blue one? I just like that. That's much better, isn't it? The one it comes with is better there, surely. Yes, I don't love that poster as much as this poster. In my mind, we're keeping with what we were given there, but do let me know in the comments which one you think we should go with there. Stalag 17. Next up, we move into the 70s actually, 1973, with The Friends of Eddie Coyle, a number 121 in the Masters of Cinema series with Robert Mitchum. Yes, Robert Mitchum. Slightly older Robert Mitchum, 70s Robert Mitchum. So perhaps not as we love him most, but I'm excited about this one actually because it's kind of I don't want to call it a neo-noir maybe, but certainly a gritty 70s crime movie. It's set in Boston. It's Boston criminal underworld. The Friends of Eddie Coyle follows an aging gunrunner's troubles at the peripheries of the local mob once he finds his options split disastrously between the threat of a fresh prison sentence or police cooperation. Nice, very nice. It's any new Mitchum movie I can get and want, I will be very excited about, obviously. But I am very excited to watch this one, definitely. In this, we get full high definition transfer, of course, uncompressed monaural sound on the Blu-ray, a new video appreciation by Glenn Kenny, a 1996 career-spanning onstage interview with Peter Yates, who is the director, hosted by critic Derek Malcolm, a 44-page booklet featuring a new essay on this film by Mike Sutton, an extensive interview with Peter Yates, and archival images. It's a dual format, this one as well actually, so it's a Blu-ray and a DVD. There is the nice booklet there with Mitchum's face on it. Leather football, Robert Mitchum, look at him. It is. I always like to refer to slightly weathered old Hollywood actors in colour when you see just how tanned they are as leather football. But yes, The Friends of Eddie Coyle, 1973. Next, we have a recent episode of It's a Wonderful Podcast, so I won't spend too much time on this, but it's John Frankenheimer's Seconds from 1966 with Rock Hudson, the Twilight Zone-esque sci-fi movie, as we referred to it as on that episode. Do go and check out that episode of the main show. It's a very, very interesting movie. 1966, like I said, and this one is, again, it's dual format. Again, it's actually reversible sleeve, I think, there. So we'll have a look. There is the booklet you get with this one. And let's have a look at the reversible sleeve. Do we want yellow or do we want red and white? I don't mind that, actually. I don't mind either. So I will go with the comments on that one because I do not mind either of those options. But yes, it's a fascinating movie. James Wong Howe's cinematography in this is absolutely stunning. And it is just 60s paranoia at its greatest. It's really wonderful. Seconds, there we go. That was which one was that? Number 122 in the Masters of Cinema series. And number 158 is Two Rode Together. John Ford, another John Ford movie. We like boosting our John Ford collection as well as the Masters of Cinema. That this is the focus of. Jimmy Stewart, Richard Widmark, another Western as well. You know, I want to make a point of continuing to watch more new Westerns to me this year. And I'm excited about this, actually. It's the first collaboration between Jimmy Stewart and John Ford, with Richard Widmark in there as well. Excites me because I do like Richard Widmark. It seems to be Jimmy Stewart plays gloriously against type, a cynical and amoral US Marshal assigned to trade guns with the Comanche in an exchange for hostages, with the promise of a large reward if he is successful. Jimmy Stewart and Richard Widmark set out to track down the Comanche and their captives with tragic consequences for all involved. Two Rode Together was one of the first Westerns to recognise the dignity and value of the Native American way of life. Actually, theirs very interesting as well, and theirs might not be something you think too much about. Actually, when it comes to Westerns, it's obviously kind of thought of a lot of the time that Native Americans in Westerns are kind of nameless, villainous roles and things like that, but this seems to be rather respectful, rather notably respectful towards them, which is very good. It's very good. That's what you would want. Just another reason to be excited to watch Two Rode Together, I think. It is from 1961. Again, it is a John Ford movie. With this, it is full high def presentation, of course. Uncompressed monaural soundtrack, isolated music and effects track, a new exclusive video essay by John Ford expert Tag Gallagher, and a 28-page booklet featuring a new essay by Richard Coombs. There we go. It's dual format again. There is the booklet. Oh, look at that on the booklet. That's nice. Very nice, very nice. More Westerns. We like it. And next up, we have a movie that I've wanted to watch for an awfully long time. It's number 163 in the Masters of Cinema collection. It is Fred Zinnemann's A Man for All Seasons, also known in my mind as the Robert Shaw Henry VIII movie. So it's a historical movie. You can see the variety of genres we have here. It's a British history movie. It's what's his name? Not Thomas More. Yes, Thomas More. Thomas More. I've got that one right. Who was I thinking of? Don't know who I was thinking of. Sir Thomas More, who is played by Paul Scofield in this movie, who is the Archbishop. Is he the Archbishop of Canterbury at this time? Basically, he butts heads with King Henry VIII, and that is this movie. It is a play, of course. It's adapted from a play, and did another Best Picture winner. It did win the Best Picture for 1966, which is again when this movie did come out. Yes, it's a 4K digital restoration. It has the original monaural soundtrack and optional 5.1 surround presentation as well. Audio commentary by film historians Nick Redman, Julie Kurgo, and Lem Dobbs. New video interview with Neil Sinyad. The Life of St. Thomas More, a 2007 video piece on the historical figure. Original theatrical trailer and a 32-page booklet featuring in USA by James Oliver and archival imagery. Being a big history lover as well, that is why I've kind of always wanted to watch this movie, always wanted to wait until I owned this movie, and for some reason it has taken me this long to pick up this exact version of A Man for All Seasons. But it's got a massive cast as well. I mean, Paul Scofield, Robert Shaw, like I said, as Henry VIII, but Wendy Hiller, Orson Welles, Susanna York is in this. John Hurt is in this. Nigel Davenport. It's a massive ensemble, and a very, very interesting looking movie. A lavish Tudor movie, which, as always, very, very much intrigued me. Penultimately, we have, and you can never go wrong with a nice Fritz Lang spy noir thriller, Cloak and Dagger, from 1946. It is number 205 in the Masters of Cinema collection. It has Gary Cooper and Lily Palmer, and that is why I got this movie. It is another Fritz Lang crime, spy, noir, espionage sort of thing, which are always movies I enjoy. I own quite a lot of them now in various forms and from various different Blu-ray companies. So I had to get this, right? I had to. Virtuoso World War II espionage thriller, apparently. And the follow-up to Scarlet Street. So we made this right after Scarlet Street, which is a wonderful movie. A crackerjack spy saga with a commanding Gary Cooper performance and a wealth of masterful Langian suspense sequences. Very nice. Undercover agents, something to do with an atomic bomb. It's everything you would want in a movie of this kind by the looks of it. A more perfectly titled film will be difficult to imagine, so the back of this Blu-ray says. Cloak and Dagger is a consummate wartime espionage suspense picture and an intriguing mix of genres for Lang, part spy thriller, part romantic melodrama, and part patriotic war movie. Well, there you go as well. Maybe it's a bit more than a straightforward spy thriller. Of course, I'm very interested and very excited to watch this one. It is a full HD transfer, optional English subtitles, uncompressed mono audio. You get an audio commentary by Alexandra Helen Nicholas. That's very nice. You get a brand new video essay by David Cairns. You get the Lux Radio Theatre adaptation from 1946, starring Lily Palmer and Ronald Reagan, actually. So that's quite interesting. You get Cloak and Dagger, the radio series, which is 660 minutes long. Wow. And you get a collector's booklet featuring a new essay by Sam Dayan. A full radio series as well as the actual radio play. That's very nice. That's very nice. I like that booklet. Comes in like a confidential file. Yes, it's dual format as well. I think it certainly is. Cloak and Dagger, Fritz Lang. Very nice. Another Gary Cooper movie as well. Always nice to add to that. And lastly, we have Kirk Douglas in Champion from 1949. This is number 258 in the Masters of Cinema collection. A boxing movie, a boxing drama with Kirk Douglas. I always like Kirk Douglas when he is kind of on his own against the world, and that is what this movie seems to be. A boxer whose fight to the top is unhampered by ethics or gratitude. A hero to his fans, his friends know him to be a selfish egomaniac who allows nothing to stand in his way. After winning a fight he was supposed to throw, his life is threatened by the mob, and he is only saved through the intervention of a woman who becomes yet another pawn in his climb up the ladder. Ultimately, he is forced to re-enter the ring and confront his biggest opponent, himself. So he's against not only everybody else in this movie, seemingly, but his own ego, his own over-inflated ego, which is very nice. It's directed by Mark Robson, co-starring Marilyn Maxwell and Arthur Kennedy. Music by Dmitry Tiomkin, which is very nice, for my mind. And it is a full HD presentation, optional English subtitles, a new audio commentary by Jason A. Ney, Stills Gallery, a collector's booklet featuring new writing on the film by Richard Coombs, and a piece on boxing in cinema by author and screenwriter S.B. Caves. That's very nice, because there is a good chunk of boxing movies, a good selection of old boxing movies that you can get from around this time. Body and Soul, which we covered on It's a Wonderful podcast with John Garfield. The setup from, I think, 1951 with Robert Ryan, a movie that I really do want to watch and haven't. There's a nice little selection of them, and this apparently is one of them. I'm certainly excited to watch this, and yes, add another Kirk Douglas movie to the collection as well. But there we go, 8 wonderful looking movies, 2 of which I can attest are wonderful movies because I've already watched them, but a great boost to my Eureka Masters of Cinema collection. I'm very excited about owning all of those, and I'm very excited to have been back here with another Morgan's Movie Collection video. There are social media links and Patreon links and all that kind of stuff in the description down below. Subscribe to this channel if you did enjoy this video and want to see more of little delves into Morgan's Movie Collection. That is what this is. If you are interested, do subscribe, do leave those likes, and do leave those comments about what you may think of these movies, but certainly, of course, about the reversible sleeves as well. I always like to kind of take other people's opinions into consideration when it comes to those kind of things. But there we go for today's episode. Is it an episode? It might not be an episode. It might just be a video. Do we consider this an episodic series? Morgan's Movie Collection. That can be your decision as well. But there we go, I think. So, until next time, which hopefully will not be very long off at all. Bye.